Ah, yes, the GOAT has made it official. Tom Brady, known as the greatest quarterback of all time, says he's done. He has ended his NFL career. After a historic 22 seasons and 7 Super Bowl titles, Brady officially announced his retirement this morning. So as Tampa Bay fans weep in their beer, I know, so tough, right? The wagering world is asking who to bet on now as a sure thing. Here in a Fox Business exclusive, let's bring in BetMGM CEO Adam Greenblatt. And yesterday, by the way, everybody, BetMGM opened the first ever brick and mortar sportsbook connected to an MLB stadium, Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Adam, we cannot wait to hear how your sportsbook traffic looked in its Nats Park debut. I mean, we're seeing some of the video right now of the windows here. But first, I got to ask you, Tom Brady, I would imagine he's generated countless bets over the years. How do you view his retirement as the CEO of a sportsbook company?
Well, it goes without saying that I only have good things to say and respect for the career of one of the all-time greats in football. But from a pure betting perspective, I'm very happy to see the end of impossible comebacks and covering the spread in a reliable way. So, not shedding too many tears on that score.
He always came back, which was so annoying to a lot of fans who did not like the Patriots or the Tampa Bay Bucks. But I agree with you. Now it almost seems like it'll be a little more difficult to gauge winners in this atmosphere when it comes to NFL games. But let's talk about your new venue. Tell me about the traffic that you saw and explain how it works, because while it is attached to Nats Park, there are certain rules and regulations, but then also some opportunities where people can bet from their phones as long as they're within, what, a 2-block radius?
That's exactly right. So the way we opened on the weekend, we soft launched on the weekend, and we were met with the storm that we all experienced. So it was a good soft launch to make sure all the systems were working. We're really looking forward to the return of the baseball season. Because what we've really created an environment which is fresh and unique in that local area around Nationals Stadium. We have an exclusive relationship with the Nationals, and so it's only BetMGM that is allowed to offer sports betting in a retail environment now, as well as on your app, on your phone, within the stadium, and of course, as you've mentioned, within a 2-block radius around the stadium.
Tell me, Adam, how do you see the importance of venue-based betting? Where is the advantage for a company like BetMGM?
Well, venue-based betting has long been, it's accessed a different audience. There is a special vibe in a physical environment, and through the investment we've made in the physical property, the TVs, the scoreboards, the ever-updating prices, it really creates an energy for the fan that's so close to the stadium that supplements one's game day experience. So it also allows our players to bet with alternative payment methods. So you're able to bet with cash in that physical environment, which is obviously different from any digital offering.
So, and you can accommodate any fans who don't have a ticket to the event, correct? Because you talk about capitalizing on the atmosphere. In some cases, I mean, I'll never forget when I went to a World Series game at Wrigley Field with the Cubbies versus the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians. The atmosphere outside, people were partying. And even with hockey now, you start to see it at the previous Staples Center. It's got a new name now, but even when the LA Kings were in the running for the Stanley Cup, they made this whole area around it for people who didn't have tickets. Do you see an opportunity to snag some of those people and get them to bet?
Absolutely. The entrance to our sportsbook is actually street facing. So even if you don't have a ticket, you can participate in the energy and the vibe of the sportsbook on game day, and participate in that game day experience around the venue.
Wynn is looking to exit its sportsbook business because, I would imagine because it's just so competitive. There's so many players in here. When, Adam, do you start to see some real consolidation in this space?
Well, we've already seen a degree of consolidation. One or two deals have already been announced. generally speaking at the smaller scale, the smaller end of the M&A spectrum. I suspect as we get into the second half of this year, perhaps into the beginning of 2023, we'll see the leaders really emerge as leaders, and the distance between the leaders and everybody else will become so great that the chasing group, if you like, will have one of two options, really, to wave the white flag or agree to be consolidated into the leadership group.
Huh. Okay, the beginning of 2023. You put a point on the calendar, Adam. We'll watch for it. Thank you so much. And very interesting to see that first retail site ever at an MLB arena. So congratulations, and keep us posted on how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you. We will, of course.